Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. After what kind of probably seems like forever, there's finally some activity happening on the SIG Sauer P320 Voluntary Upgrade Program. We've got a email, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you did register yours, have gotten a similar email. I've got the text of it up on the screen. And basically what it indicates is you'll get an email for each particular one that you registered. It'll have some information about the timing. They're going to start shipping information, and labels will start to come out somewhere in October, November timeframe. And it's kind of important to note this is going to work a lot like the Ruger one, where it's kind of the first people to register will also be the first people to get shipping information and labels. So if you registered late in the game, it may actually be December or further out for you guys. If you registered early, then you might be in the October, November timeframe. It's important to look at the section that has the name and address and serial number information, verify that it's correct. That's what they're going to use to return it to you. And note that they will return it to your house. It's not going to go to an FFL. It'll go to your house, and you'll have to have an adult who is legally allowed to possess a firearm home to sign for it. Other than that, there's finally some activity. It's finally starting to move. Maybe we'll actually start to get these upgrades into play and get our SIG P320s back to a state we consider them to be drop safe. Now that we've taken care of the recall or the voluntary upgrade process and what's going to happen, there's been a number of questions and answered on our videos about what are they going to do to the gun and what will work and what won't work, and how do I tell if it's been upgraded. So let's walk through a few of those questions and the answers to them. Of course it was unloaded. I'm going to pull this one apart so that I can use it for the demonstration of the points that I'm going to make, so you're not just looking at a static picture sitting there. So I've got this one apart. One of the big things is the grip frame going to be modified? Why do I have to send a grip frame in? What are they going to do to my grip frame? A lot of times the context of that has been, I've had it Cerakoted or I've done other things to it, and I don't want that ruined. Don't worry, they're not going to modify the grip frame. Any grip frame that the gun would have worked in before you send it, it'll work in after you send it. What they need it for is to test it. They need to put the gun together, and they're going to do a basic function test. And of course that leads to the second question: are they going to drop my gun? I don't want them beating up the back of my slide and tearing up my gun. And no, they're not. What they're going to do is the same basic function test they would do on any warranty repair. They're going to put it together. They're going to make sure it cycles. They're going to fire a round through it and ensure that the gun works, but they're not going to drop it. Now, of course, this is information I got with having a conversation with a SIG Sauer representative. Things may change by the time you actually get the final instructions, but the information I have at this point is that that's what's going to take place. Now, one of the next questions is, how do I identify if one's been upgraded? Well, one of the most obvious pieces is going to be the trigger will be different. They're putting in a lighter trigger to mitigate the weight of the trigger, and that's part of the issue with the drop safety. So I don't have a new upgraded trigger just to show you exactly what it's going to look like. When we get one, of course, I'll do a comparison before and after, but I can tell you there will be a visible difference on the trigger that you'll be able to use to tell. The next thing that's going to be modified is a disconnector. There'll be another component in here to act as a disconnector that'll be part of that drop safety mechanism. And the presence of that extra component will help you identify if a fire control unit's been upgraded, in addition to looking at the trigger. On the slide, there's going to be a notch somewhere in the area of the loading ramp or back in here that's going to make room for that disconnector to work and interact with the changed parts in here, in the sear. So looking at the modified slide, it'll be fairly obvious. And again, once we have a modified one, we'll do a side-by-side with them. What we'll do is we'll send back two of our guns, so we'll keep one, get the modified one back, and we'll be able to show you the differences, and we'll send the third one back. The other question that I get a lot of is compatibility. What parts will work with what parts? Basically what will happen is once the fire control group is upgraded, it will only work with an upgraded slide. And part of it's because the extra component, if the cutout's not wherever it needs to be here, you'll have an interference. However, a modified slide will work with an older fire control group. However, you won't have the full drop safety upgrade capability in place. So to have an upgraded gun that meets all of the newer drop safety standards that they're implementing, you have to have both parts. But if let's say you bought a caliber change slide and you didn't happen to send it, or you bought it brand new and it came in and it wasn't modified, you'd be able to use it, but you still would want to send it back to get it modified so that you get the full drop safety capability. So as this evolves and we actually get our shipping labels and information, we'll share that information with you. We'll send at least one or two out, but we're going to hold one back. When we get the upgraded guns back, we'll be able to do a comparison and kind of show you how it's going to play out. And at that point, I'll actually be able to do a side-by-side and let you know exactly what to look for to determine if you've got an upgraded gun or if you still have a non-modified gun. Beyond that, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, check us out on Facebook. Have a great day. Thank you.